Hi, everyone. I'm Sally Berry, the attractions coach, and Catherine Heeg and I are back for another WeChat live event today.
Hi, everyone. Great to be back.
Yeah. We're going to talk about some of the differences and some of the similarities. They're both social media, but they're actually really different. And I think one of the things we should talk about first is the difference between a business page on Facebook and an official account on WeChat. Catherine, you want to start?
Sure. I'm Catherine Heeg, founder of Customized Management Solutions and social marketing strategist for travel and tourism. And Facebook is really interesting from a business perspective because it's a great way to build brand loyalty. And maybe a little bit different from WeChat in that a Facebook business page can be set up really easily by yourself or someone else on your team. Most times it needs to be tied to a personal profile on Facebook, unless you're a big brand, and then it can be set up on its own. Sally, how is that different from WeChat?
Well, WeChat is the same, similar in that personal pages are different than what we call official accounts. The big difference is an official account, which is for your brand or destination or your attraction, actually has to be set up in China. So it's not something that, like Facebook, you can set up yourself. You actually have to work with a company, most likely based here in the US, that will help you set up an official account. And an official account has to be verified in China. And then the content obviously has to be loaded regularly in Mandarin. So there's a lot more steps involved and a lot more complexity involved in having an official account on WeChat.
Oh, that's really interesting that it has to be set up by somebody else.
Right. So tell us a little bit more about some of the things Facebook business pages can do that someone in an office or at an attraction could do by themselves.
Oh, that's a great question. Depending on your admin rights on your Facebook business page, you can create posts that develop some brand awareness for your brand, whether it's an attraction or a destination, as well as create some video. You can also, once in a while, put up a sales message. And I know Sally and I were going to have a little conversation about that in a little bit. But it's a great way to build some brand awareness and build some brand loyalty. Plus, like we're doing here, you can go live on your Facebook business page. So, yeah. Sally, what do people do on WeChat to build brand awareness?
So official accounts, and I think last I heard there's over 10 million WeChat official accounts. So it's a very, very busy area. So when you do get an official account, I have attractions ask me, should we get an official account on WeChat? And most always my answer is no. I would say that you should contact your DMO, or perhaps even better, your state DMO, and see if they have a WeChat page, and then just give them content and images to put up. They're more likely to get visitors to their WeChat page than you are to your destination page, because honestly, most destinations in the United States aren't even known by the Chinese. Sometimes destinations in the US aren't even known by those of us living in the US. So I think for as far as official accounts, if you want to get more Chinese visitors, I always suggest that you look to your state DMO. Brand USA also has a great Chinese WeChat page, and if you're a partner with them, that's an opportunity as well. And as you know, any social media, they're always looking for content. They're always looking for images. So you could feed your state information that they can put out, kind of, I'm sure, like Facebook pages for states do as well. They're always looking for content to push out.
That's a great tip, because like Facebook, a destination or a supplier could always send information to somebody else to be posted on that business page. You might not be able to post it yourself because you're probably not an admin on the state or the DMO's Facebook page, but you could send it to them almost like a press release. And that sounds like what you're recommending for WeChat as well.
And I think it's kind of a win-win, because you may have a small budget, but you have images and stories to share, and people are looking for content so they can feeding, whether it is WeChat, whether it is Facebook or any of the other social media. So that's an inexpensive, free way to get your information out.
Yeah, that's a great point. So on Facebook, someone might want to feed content, maybe a picture, maybe destination information, maybe trivia, maybe even a poll question, as well as video. What kinds of things would you recommend that somebody feed to a destination for WeChat?
Well, one thing about WeChat is you have to have an image before you can post text. So strong images are always needed. And, think of what is the best representation of your area or your attraction, and then send accompanying a text along with it. And typically, if your state will have someone that can translate it into the native language and make it appropriately, culturally appropriate, and post that on there. So send things of different seasons. Chinese visitors love to see the different seasons. Fall foliage, for anyone that has that, is a terrific tool to use. Any outdoorsy sort of thing is always impressive to our Chinese guests, because a lot of them live in cities where the air may not be quite as clear as it can be in the United States. So to send pictures of beautiful scenery outdoors is always something that catches the attention as well.
Well, that's great, because those are some of the same things that go really well on Facebook too. So exactly. Images that depict what your destination looks like at different times of the year, activities that you can do in the destination, sort of almost the inside scoop. So for example, if you're a hotel and you get a big delivery of pumpkins in the fall for Halloween, that kind of thing goes over really well, because it's sort of the behind the scenes look at the property.
Cool, right? I mean, the pictures are probably really cool from something like that.
Yeah. And so does that behind the scenes sort of inside scoop work well on WeChat too?
I think it does. I think a lot of what WeChat accounts do for us in the U.S. is sort of build an understanding of the region, of the destination, because there is so much to learn about the United States from a country where people really haven't been able to travel much until the last 10 years. And so another tool that I know we've mentioned before, where there's a lot of differences, is in the use of video. And WeChat is one of the interesting limitations of it is you can only upload about 8 to 9 seconds worth of video. So you can either upload it from your phone, or you can take it directly inside the WeChat video. But I always think, well, that's a limitation. I always think of WeChat as doing everything for everyone, and that is one of the limitations. But I know Facebook has a lot of capabilities around video. Do you want to talk about some of those?
Yeah, Facebook would be very different from WeChat then, because with Facebook, you can upload a video that you've shot on your phone or shot from your desktop or from a regular webcam. And then, of course, you can go live like we're doing today. Or you can even put up an instructional video, something that guides people through a booking process or something. So all kinds of options for video. Typically on Facebook, shorter videos work better. So if you're just popping up a video, if you keep it under 30 seconds, you're doing great. A minute is okay, but 30 seconds, you're going to be golden with your reach and your engagement. Because right now, video on Facebook is huge.
Oh, okay. Attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, so you have to be patient with your message.
That's exactly right. The attention spans are, shrinking as fast as we can say Facebook. So, so we need to get our word out there succinctly and quickly.
Yes. Do you know of any destinations or attractions that use videos, quick interviews with any of their guests, and then post them? And is there anything people should think about as far as getting permission from visitors to post things like that?
Oh, that's a great question. That permission thing is huge with both destinations and with tour operators. If you're going to be doing an interview or even showing somebody on video, you really need to get permission from them. And it needs to be signed in writing just to make sure that it doesn't come back and bite you in the future. Mm-hmm. So typically tour operators will have a terms and conditions that people sign before they go on the trip. So as a tour operator, you want to make sure that that's in place to cover yourself for any kind of image, whether it's a still image or whether it's video.
Because I think a video would be so powerful. I mean, you read a TripAdvisor review and that's powerful, but to think of a customer, someone on one of the trips, giving a video testimonial, it's even that much more powerful.
Yes, and I've seen destinations do that. I always look to Oregon and Wisconsin, a couple other DMOs that do a fabulous job, both with video and with their still images too. Nevada, of course, does a great job. So there, in Philadelphia, if you want to look at a city, they do a remarkable job.
Very cool. Was that a question you were thinking of asking the folks that were listening with us today?
Yeah, so if you want to type in the comment section on your Facebook business page, type in what type of video you're producing right now. Are you doing live streaming video like this? Or are you shooting some video yourself? Or are you having video professionally done? If you want to type that in the chat box, that'll be really interesting for us to have a look at that.
And Catherine and I can attest to the fact that Facebook Live is not too intimidating. It's kind of fun. So if you're thinking of trying it, we think you should.
And it is fun. You know, Sally and I have prepared for this, of course, and talked a lot about our topics, and Sally knows her topic inside and out. So it's really a fun way to do something a little bit different, think outside the box.
Yep, and to catch people's attention, that's really what our job is these days, because there's so many other elements trying to compete with that. So I know one of the things we wanted to talk about, we've talked about differences between WeChat and Facebook, but one of the things we both agree on is how to use your personal account on WeChat or your personal page on Facebook. Kind of be salesy, but not too salesy. And you had some great advice to share.
Yes, you know, everybody seems to think that maybe Facebook personal pages can be used for business, but please try not to do that. If Facebook finds that you're using your personal page too much for business, they're going to slap your hand and they may even close down your personal profile. So you don't want to do that, but it's nothing wrong with sharing some things from your business page to your personal page once in a while. And if there's something salesy or a special promotion or something going on that you want to spread the word, go ahead, post that on your business page, but keep that sales message to maybe 1 in 4 posts, because we don't want it to be all sales and promotions and early booking bonuses or anything like that. It needs to be building brand awareness, building relationships, building loyalty. And then if you share that to your personal page once in a while, that's okay. Sally, how would that work on WeChat?
I completely agree. I think WeChat is definitely the relationship building platform. I know at my job, I will go post pictures of things I happen to see at work, and not anything salesy, but just to kind of build the understanding of what our attraction looks like. But then I post pictures of my garden at home, or if I'm on vacation, something I'm seeing on vacation. So I agree. You want to, throw something in there once, to your point, like every 4 or 5 once every once in a while. But I think it helps build the relationship and just reminds people where you work. I did see, like, on Facebook, we're posting for anniversaries of things where they work and things like that. And I think that's perfect, because that's a momentous occasion and it reminds people where you work. And, if a tour operator happens to see that and thinks, oh, you know what, I'm thinking of putting a group there next year, they know where you are, they know how to find you. So I think that is wonderful.
I agree, Sally. And you mentioned that that's where you might build some relationships. So think about you posting something about your garden, and a client of yours, a tour operator, loves gardening. The next conference you see them at, that might be the icebreaker where you start talking about gardening.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's a great way to build some relationships.
Yeah, and you know, I can't remember the author. Is it a Malcolm Gladwell book where he talks about loose connections? So you don't need to know everyone very well, but you need to know a lot of people a little well. And both Facebook and WeChat help that happen.
Yeah, it's smooth and pave the way for other relationships. So we're nearly out of time here, but I wanted to throw out a question to the audience. What would you like to hear about next? We talk about Facebook or Twitter or other social sites versus WeChat, or would you like to know more about WeChat? If you want to type that into the comment section, that'd be great.
Wonderful.
And Sally, do you have anything else?
No, I know that we included the link to our last WeChat and Facebook video that we did a few weeks ago. So folks that missed that one, we can send the link so they can go back and listen to that and kind of get sort of the 101 on what WeChat is and learn a little bit more about that. And we both have tools on our websites that people can check. And I believe those that signed up are also going to get some resources from us. Is that correct?
That's correct. And we have a question from Tiffany. And Tiffany asked, how do you get travel agents to follow you on the different social sites? That's a great question, Tiffany. Maybe that's something that we can address next time. But it's about building that relationship and getting to know people and then inviting them to follow you or become your friend. And there's a couple other questions there, but I know we are just about out of time. And I know that this session will click off at exactly 20 minutes. So I don't want that to happen in the middle of the question. Yeah. So
well, maybe what we can do is look at those questions and then craft our next response, our next live video around those.
That would be great. Somebody else, Tiffany also asked if we're going to do a WeChat demo. Now that's a great idea, Tiffany.
I'd be happy to do that. If everyone brings their phone to the next one, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, or we could even put together sort of an instructional video on how to do it, and then people would have that as a resource, and then we could go over it during the next live session too.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for joining in today. And remember, you will get a copy of this recording afterwards. And please reach out to us and let us know what else you'd like to hear about. So Sally, thank you so much. This has been outstanding.
Oh, fun as always. And thanks to everyone for taking time out of their day to spend a few minutes with us.
Great. See you next time.